Hey everyone, welcome to this session of doing some clearing work with me and deleting and reprogramming body, mind, and spirit. We're going to be doing some really cool stuff today. I'm really excited about it. I keep using the word really, but it really is. Anyway, I digress. So something came up yesterday was this frequency of expectations and the expectations that I personally had for myself. And I was talking to a colleague, a friend of mine, who was going through something very similar with a family member. And she's like, okay, let's, what is it about this situation that you were expecting that she's not living up to? And so yesterday I had the experience of having this expectation that I should be on here and I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And, there's all of these, when you have an expectation, there's all these, you should, you got to, you have to, whether it is in alignment with you or not. And so, it was an opportunity for me to take a step back and say, what do you really need? Because I was so exhausted from traveling and then shopping and putting everything away, and I hadn't slept well the night before, and here I am holding space for my community, for you and for myself and for my family, and concerned about kids and grandkids and mom and dad and the whole nine yards. And so what I realized is I had this really high expectation for myself that, I had to be on 100%. But then it made me start thinking about what is it that we expect of ourselves globally? What are we expecting, or what have we expected our lives to be? And suddenly it's been disrupted by this whole pandemic event. And so, where is it? I want to find this energy, because as I started exploring this energy of expectations, I realized just how profoundly disempowering it is for ourselves and for others. So, I want to preface all this with a couple of um, dictionary um, and Wikipedia definitions of expectations. So the dictionary version of expectation is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. For example, a reality had not lived up to expectations. The second one is a belief that someone will or should achieve something. And then there's kind of an archaic one of one's prospects of inheritance. What are we going to inherit in the future based on a belief about something progressing in a certain way? Now, Wikipedia says, in the case of uncertainty, expectation is an event that considered the most likely to happen. In the case of uncertainty, expectation is an event that considered the most likely to happen. An expectation, which is a belief that is centered on the future, may or may not be realistic. A less advantageous result gives rise to the emotion of disappointment. So if we have certain expectations for ourselves and we're not meeting those expectations, or we have expectations for others and they're not meeting them, have we clearly identified our expectations and the consequences of not meeting those expectations? And we expect our spouse to be there for us. We expect, our boyfriend or girlfriend to be there for us. We expect the government to show up for us. We expect the fire department to show up for us if there's a fire. We expect the police to show up if there's an intruder. So we have these expectations. We expect to be able to go to the hospital if we're sick. And I think what is helping, or some of the energy that's destabilizing, is this fear that our normal expectations won't be met because they can't be met. And so it creates a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty. But I want to go even deeper into this, because when we have a certain expectation, going back to, personal relationships, if we have an expectation of, in a relationship, for example, with our spouse or our children or a coworker or something, and it's not clearly defined, if we have a belief about something, about the way someone should act or behave or interact with us, and we have not communicated that, it sets both of us up for disappointment. So for example, if you have an expectation that someone should get up in the morning and get dressed and make their bed, and that person doesn't do that. Let's say it's a child, for example, and so the expectation isn't met. You may have clearly said it at some point, or it may not have been clearly said, and the consequences of not doing that behavior set in. And I know this is really minimal, but if we are holding somebody to a standard of expectation that is not clearly defined, it sets us up for failure. It sets us up to feel like a failure, and it sets us up for massive disappointment. And then we get to beat ourselves up because we're not lovable, we're not wanted, we're not worthy, people don't like us. If they loved us, they would know that, blah, 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 blah. In a marriage, in a relationship, in an intimate relationship, have you clearly defined what your expectations are of that other person, and the consequences or the implications of not meeting that expectation? Because people are not mind readers. Now, when we're looking, and to take that a little bit further, if that person is not clearly aware of what those expectations are, it also disempowers them, because they're living up to an unrealistic standard that we may have set for them. And our expectations may be made on what the perfect relationship should or could look like. And as we're sequestered with some of our loved ones, what are the expectations that are not being met that have never been said aloud? And this is an opportunity to look at some of our belief systems, all of our belief systems to be exact. So, and what are the expectations that we have of our government? Are they going to bail us out? Are they going to do something? What is it about our expectations for being, sheltered in place? If you're not already sheltered in place, what are your expectations? Is it going to be 2 weeks? Is it going to be 3 weeks? What's going to happen when it's 12 weeks or 16 weeks? Or God forbid, longer than that. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen. But do you see where I'm going with this? When we have a certain expectation about the way things should go, it will set us up for failure, and it will set us up for disappointment and heartache. And so what I want to explore are all of the belief systems that have gone into certain expectations. And you may not realize that you have an expectation until you're disappointed. You may not recognize that someone has let you down based on an expectation that something should have a certain outcome. We should have a job. We should have a job forever. We should be able to go to work. We should be able to drive our cars. We should have toilet paper in every store. We should have dairy in every store. And this was one of the huge things that I was looking at yesterday, because I was so frustrated the day before, having to go to several different stores and put myself at risk, connecting with potentially other people who are having this virus, and blah, 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 blah. And my expectation is, everybody should be healthy. Everybody should stay out of my way. I should be able to get what I want, which is kind of an arrogant attitude in some ways. But the opportunity is here to look at our expectations. What are your belief systems, and what expectations are they engendering? So this is what I want to clear today, and delete some of this programming so that we can flow more easily with the uncertain outcomes that are happening right now, and maybe bring some relationship peace if you are not alone in your home. So let's just take a deep breath. Let's drop in and take that deep cleansing breath. Feel your feelings drop into your body. Bring your spirit, your being, your entire self into this physical body. Drop down into your heart, your solar plexus, down deep into your belly. Anchor into the tailbone. Draw your energy down through your legs and into your feet. Ground your body and your being down into this authentic, symbiotic, biological planet. There we go. And all of the old, everything that is, how do I want to say this? What is all of the programming? What are all of the thoughts, feelings, beliefs, all of the mental processes that are up and active around expectations? I expect that this is going to end soon. I expect that I should be able to get through this without any problems. I expect this to get worse, or I expect this to get better, or I expect whatever that expectation is. And as we're looking at all of that energy, all of those hidden, hiding, buried, covered up, masquerading, disguised, left behind, forgotten, ignored, or denied belief systems, everything that's been passed down consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, anti-consciously through all of our generations, from generation to generation to generation, those belief systems that are absolutely invisible, they're blind spots simply because they're the part of the fabric of our entire being. And I'm going to work with your central nervous system because the body is this incredibly, incredibly sophisticated biocomputer. I'm going to strengthen your central nervous system and all of the other connecting systems, the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous systems, all of the endocrine systems, all the neurological systems that are associated and intricately tied and connected to the central nervous system, the blood system, the lymphatic system, the digestive system, the pulmonary system, the cardiovascular system, that's all regulated by the central nervous system. And the central nervous system is really kind of the central communication system of your entire body. And we're going to intend that that your DNAs, the extraneous or junk DNA and the typical DNA shift to support some of these new energetic alignments. And so I am now going to send and strengthen your central nervous system and your manifestation centers. Your manifestation centers are these core centers through the center of the body. There we go. I'm going to activate your systems if they're feeling sluggish or slow, so that they are in sync and up to speed with the universe, with consciousness, with God's source, with whatever your belief system is, and in resonance with the frequency of this planet. You just feel as your central nervous system, your whole body systems come online. And how any of the expectations that you may have had consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, anti-consciously, may be triggering any discomfort in your body, your mind, your spirit. There you go. Ooh, love that. And we're going to begin clearing this out of the emotional systems, all of your mental systems, any of the fear, grief, I'm not enoughness, anger, frustration, sadness, that feeling of being unwanted, unloved, unacceptable in some way because these expectations have triggered old programming and old belief systems that really no longer serve. And we're just deleting it out of the emotional systems, out of mental systems, conscious, subconscious, unconscious, anti-consciousness, and all of the evidence that your mind has collected to hold on to and justify all of these belief systems and the stories that we've created around all of those. We're clearing it out of the ancient mind, that primal brain area at the brainstem, about the amygdala, the hypothalamus, throughout the collective consciousness, subconscious, unconscious, anti-consciousness. We're clearing it through all of our environments, our homes, our cars, our yards, our cities, states, communities, countries. Ooh, we've got big energy here around the expectations that we have for our country, our leadership. Let's delete all of that programming, just like we're like when you shut off the lights, we're deleting old, creepy, crappy programming, clearing it out of the political systems, school systems, religious organizations, clearing it out of the physical body, the DNAs, the RNAs, the chromosomes, the genes, the codons, just clearing it out of our social systems, social media, the media, our families, extended families, friends, teachers, any of our clients, TVs, programs, newspapers, movies, radios, the internet, and all of the generational beliefs about what should be, about all of the religious beliefs about what should be. And I'm hearing people screaming at me because, you know, religion should, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm not, you can hold on to any and all of these beliefs if you choose, and that's okay. Any gender issues or beliefs that are surrounding expectations. We should be feminine and cute and well coiffed as women, and we should be strong and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Those expectations for gender roles. Let's clear it out of past lives, any karmic or soul contracts, beliefs carried from one lifetime to the next. Again, if you don't believe in lifetime, you know, multiple lifetimes, that's okay. You don't have to. We're just, for those who do, let's delete any dogmas, any limitations, anywhere you're picking up psychically or empathically from other people, incorporating those belief systems into your own, and anywhere where we're being impacted. And again, if you don't believe in this, that's fine. Any entities, demonics, creatures, aliens, reptilians, insectoids, animalistics, hybrids, parasitics, beings, doings, havings, gods, demigods, semigods, archons, light and dark force angels and beings that are not contributive to our well-being. Let's clear all of those out of our existences. There we go, and out of the planet. Nice. And any other non-contributive energies, belief systems, frequencies, or just, if you will give permission to destroy and delete all of this programming, we're going to delete programming. We're going to now terminate it, extract it out of body and being, mind, body, and being, out of every aspect of who we are. Woo! There we go. And just how many of you can feel this energy? I want to give a shout out to everybody that's on here. Hi, Rich. Hi, Umair. Betty. Hi. The other Betty. Colleen. Daniel, Yassine, Pat. Thank you so much for being here. And let's just begin deleting all of this stuff so that we can be present with our feelings. We can speak clearly our expectations and be heard, and then receive positive feedback. So we can have real communications, real meaningful communications that support ourselves and one another. There we go. And in the place of these negative frequencies, let's bring in the frequencies and begin downloading. As these old programs are deleted, programs and machines that are deleted, let's bring in the frequency of acceptance and affirming, appreciation, clear communication, authenticity, awareness, things that are beneficial and supportive and loving and comforting, that certainty that we have what it takes, that we are enough. Let's bring in caring and free will choice, confidence, that concern that is in balance, that balance of consciousness and consideration, and courage, determination, desire, and decisiveness, the energy of encouragement and endurance, enlivenment and enlightenment, of enough, more than enough. You are more than enough. You have more than enough. There's a bounteousness. Just feel the frequency of so much that it's like your cup runneth over. There's plenty. There's a plenitude of all that you want, need, desire. Let's bring in the frequencies of faith and forgiveness. Forgiveness for having expectations that have gone unmet and all of the chaos and confusion and craziness that may have created. Let's bring in the sense of freedom and fulfillment, sovereignty, of gentleness and genuineness, goodness and grace, and that sense of, I've got this, I can do this. In being empowered, being authorized, having the authority to choose, being in harmony, synchronicity, and order, bringing in the frequencies of hope and honesty, kindness and kind-heartedness, laughter, life, and love. That frequency of liberation. Liberation from old belief systems and expectations that have not been fulfilled, that have not served you. And the ability to create a new flow, a new awareness, a new consciousness, a new level of communication with yourself and with others that will support both of you, all of you, in both of your highest goods. Let's bring in that sense of let's bring in and download frequencies of miracles and mastery and self-mastery, of being nurtured, nourished, cherished, loved, comforted, of optimism, order, patience, and peace. And I'm just sending this through all of your central nervous system, through all your receiving channels. Anything that is in there where you have energy systems in your body also that allow out old frequencies. So I'm going to strengthen those so that it's, the exit channels for energy are strengthened so that you can delete old programming more efficiently without any negative consequences. There we go. Let's download patience for selves, peace, peacefulness, perseverance, perspective, bringing in the essence of pleasure, that feeling of being precious, precious to source, precious to one another, which means that you're cherished and loved and valued. Let's bring in the frequency of purpose, productivity. I'm going to strengthen your prosperity channels and your manifestation channels. There we go. Let's download the frequencies of relaxation, your ability to receive, restoration, all of selves, self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, self-assertiveness, self-control, self-confidence, self-empowerment. That's that greater sense of self within that gives you the knowingness of who you are as the divine being that the Creator has put on this planet for you to be. Let's download Soul Salve, Quantum Cosmic Salve, Strength and Success, and the ability to use this time in creativity and co-creativity. What do you want your period of time out to look like once it's over? What would you like to create? What would you like to have and be when we come out of our homes? Let's download thoroughness and thoughtfulness, tranquility, thriving, trust and trustworthiness, that triumph, being valued and validated, welcomed with open arms, that feeling of radiant, vibrant health and well-being, vivaciousness, vitality, wholeness, worthiness, wonderment, the wonderment of this whole process of transformation that we're going through as a globe, as a planet, as a collective. What is emerging? What wonder is going to be? How are we going to be when this is all said and done? How are we coming together to support and love one another and be in different ways? Take another breath. More joy. And anywhere that we've been judged as being a negative Nelly for our expectations because they've been triggered and we've been triggered, let's just delete all of that programming. Delete. Pink. Delete. Pink. Delete. Love that. Let's bring in that frequency of calmness and tranquility, that restorative feeling. Let's download all of these frequencies. Let's download, infuse, implement, and integrate all of these frequencies into every cell, every molecule, every atom and subatomic particle of body, mind, soul, and being, filling the bones, tendons, muscles, ligaments, tissues, and fascia, flowing through the bloodstream, the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, through all of the systems of the body, all of the organs and glands, filling every ounce and every particle of your being so that it's no longer capable of being held by the physical body and just emanates out into the world, connecting with the other people, places, circumstances, events, and things that are fully aligned with these frequencies. And as we connect with one another around the globe, whether you're listening to this live or whether you're listening to the recording, know that you are connected. Know that we are working together in that harmony, synchronicity, and order. We're creating a new grid. We're creating a new place. We're creating a whole new world for ourselves, for our loved ones, for our children, for our grandchildren. And then let's activate, synchronize, harmonize, and optimize all of these new frequencies and everything they represent throughout every aspect of who we are. And let's then apply them all as functional skill sets. Take a deep breath in and just bask in these feelings. As I close with this, I want to invite you to my monthly membership. We go way deeper, about 90 minutes every single week. Right now, we're talking about and working on the frequency of money and prosperity. And I'll put the link to a reduced price here in the comments. I know that many of you are, have financial stuff going on, and this would be such an amazing support. We've got a wonderful group of individuals in here that are here to support and love. They're very conscious, very high frequency individuals. I'd love to have you come play with us. So thank you for listening. I love you dearly. We will play again tomorrow, and type into the comments, if you would, what you might like to play with tomorrow. What might be coming up? Because I've just been going off what I've been feeling and what's in the collective, but I want to hear from you. I really want to hear what's going on with you, because if this isn't resonating with you, then it's pointless. But I want to support you, because as empathic as I am, sometimes I miss the mark. So let me know how you're feeling and what I can do to support you even further. I love you dearly. Take care. Thank you for listening, and share this with people if it feels like it's in alignment. You'll receive an email, and I also offered a free gift yesterday because I wasn't on. If you haven't gotten that, I'll also put that in the comments, because that will also support you. All right, everyone, take care. I love you dearly. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye now.